sure it's recording.
All right, it's definitely recording. The memory's definitely clear. She's saying that because what you're not seeing is that I had a full memory card that goes all the way back to the episode with the Andrade family, the entire family. That's how many I still have. And the safety crew, and Ed Lovato, and somebody else. Who am I forgetting? Whoever I'm forgetting, I apologize. We're here with Mitzli, okay? She is daughter of Omar, niece of Eric. She's been doing this since she was 16. She's 22 now. She's become a part of the safety crew. She rides with her family.
I do all the raffles for 41 Thursday and 4130.
She is the raffle boss. That one was a natural one for you to end up doing that. And it's not and your dad is what you called him, the announcement guy.
Announcement guy.
Which involves being like, gather around.
Yeah.
And here we go with a couple rules to make sure that we all get back in one piece. Yo, check it out. Got a big crowd. We're gonna be riding crazy.
And she's just as loud as he is, so right?
Yeah.
4105. She recently did, when we did the LA ride on October 15th, she ran that raffle.
I did.
Right, but you had lots of raffle practice on that. How long have you been riding the ride outs? How long have you, and we know you started with 4130.
Since like 2016, so like what, 7 years?
7 years you've grown up on the scene. You graduated while you were on the scene?
I did, yeah, went to prom, everything. I grew up on this ride.
Yeah, you still go do normal person your age stuff, right?
From like, well, I'm a homebody, so like if I have my dog, I like to take him on hikes, you know, go out with my friends here and there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like I don't really like going out.
Yeah, you're not a bar person or anything, right? Do you feel like this has been something that more people like you should know about? Because like a lot of people don't think you have to go to a bar.
Yeah, I do. I feel like if more people would know, like my age would know about this, it would keep us away from like the party scene, you know? Like...
Oh, even at my age, when I ride with you sometimes or with others, I always think to myself, like, I'm so glad I'm just not standing in a bar sipping on liquid, like I'm out.
Or just at home laying in bed, like I'm glad I'm like being active.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm like that's my thing, is that it's kept me active all these years.
You didn't have another sport as a kid that was your thing?
Cheer and dance. But
you were a cheerleader?
Yeah, in like middle school.
Okay.
Drill team.
Oh, really? And then you switched over to BMX?
Yeah, switched over to BMX.
You're probably one of the very few women in America that's got the used to be on drill team, became a BMX street night rider ever. How'd you end up on the safety crew?
I kind of just started following my dad around to all the rides. And then the guys would be like, oh, here, come hold this light with me. And then eventually became natural where I can go and hold a light by myself because I know what I'm doing. And I know how to be safe about it. So they trust me enough to, like, you know, hold the light.
Okay, what method do you use? Because I use the I'm friendly and get along with people method. Some of the guys are just so big and scary looking that they can just stand there and nobody bothers them.
I go and I make sure that I don't have my back to the car so that they don't hit me.
Okay.
And I just tell them, like, we'll be out of your way in a couple minutes. Like, thank you for waiting. And then I just watch the crowd.
Yeah, and what we were both saying this on the episode that we filmed immediately before this that you won't get to see because the memory was full. But what's the part you like?
I like standing there and watching the crowd go by, and I'm like, wow, like we actually have all these people here. Like that's so crazy.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, sometimes there's so many of us. I like it. I mean, I like small rides and big rides, but when there's so many of us, you're like, all right, so I'm not the only weirdo in town that loves riding around on my BMX bike at night.
Yeah, because sometimes there's a lot of people. Like, a lot of people.
Yeah, you're like, there's 150 other people out here on a Thursday night riding around LA on their BMX bike. I can't explain that to my normal friends.
No, me either.
Do you have normal friends anymore, or do you only have bike riding friends? I was kidding. That wasn't supposed to.
I'm like, oh.
You're like, actually. And you made friends here, right?
I did.
Who's your main bestie?
The BMX princess.
Yeah. Your room is all hell. Oh my God! And how old are you now?
22.
22, all decked out in Hello Kitty.
She's the one who buys me Hello Kitty stuff.
She has Halloween cupcakes in her dad's backpack right now.
Room full of minions.
You have a room full of minions?
I buy her the minions and she buys me the Hello Kitty.
You guys do realize this is being said into video, right? I have proof that...
I don't care. Lori.
And you guys just naturally started hanging out because you're the same age and the only ones around?
Yeah, like back then when we first started, because she started riding like a couple months after me, so we've been like doing it for the same amount of time. And then like there'd be like, you know, a couple older women like Norma, you know, that she was here, but like it was never like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with her because like she's not my age, you know. So when Lori came around, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be friends with her.
Yeah, she meant older than her, not older.
No, not old, just older than me. And so with Lori, it was just easy because she was like closer to my age. So
you didn't have one moment where you were like two cats and you locked eyes and you're like, there can be only one.
No, ew.
All right. What was your first bike?
A 26-inch red line.
What color?
It was black and red.
Were you a good rider at the time?
Yeah.
Oh, you were already good at riding?
Because we would ride around our neighborhood and stuff, and so I didn't just come and be like, oh, okay, this is like my, it was my first big ride, but it wasn't my first time on a bike riding, you know?
What did you used to be riding before the BMX bikes kicked in? Did your whole family get their BMX bikes at the same time, or did your dad?
My dad already had it. Like he had gotten into it, and then once I saw how much he was getting into it, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should go with him one day.
Oh, really? Watching him go off to do it made you want it? It wasn't him being like...
He would go every Thursday, and then he would like every, the second Saturday, or like there was other groups who would ride like regular, so he would go and I'd be like, damn, he's always gone. I'm gonna go with him. And then
really?
At the time, my mom was also riding, so she would go with him. So once I saw that my mom was riding and stuff, I was like, okay, maybe I can do it. And yeah, I'm like, look where I'm at now.
Yeah, well, otherwise you're just sitting around the house while were they coming home with stories? Or
they were like this one. This was my mom's favorite ride, and she would come home and we got to ride on Hollywood. I got to see this. I got to see that. And I'm like, damn, that sounds cool. Like I'm just sitting at home doing nothing.
I mean, I've told this story on every episode, so I won't bore us. But yes, it's the best way to see a city, right? Like even the one you like for you grew up in LA, and when I came back to LA, I got to see it with all you guys on the bike, and it's like the same as walking, but the speed of a car with the fresh air of a hiking.
My first time in like most of these cities, like my first time in San Diego, Oceanside, Santa Barbara, that was all on a bike. The only reason that I was there was for a bike ride, so like it's taken me to other cities to see them and stuff.
Do you like the part where you're watching like a movie or a TV show that takes place in the place that you've ridden a bike, and then they'll go by something, you're like, I rode my bike there. Like,
yeah, and then everything also looks so different like when you're like in the car compared to your bike.
True.
To me, like I'm just like, oh, like don't we ride around here? Like it's so different.
It's more, they're both real, so saying it's more real doesn't make sense.
No,
but it's more natural.
Yeah.
Right? It's like being like any animal that runs around the wild plains or through the forest, like that's how I feel when I'm on the bike. Is that weird? I don't know.
You're like, I don't know.
What are you riding now?
A Geronimo.
A Geronimo.
29-inch.
And that's made by Victor.
Airborne Vic.
Airborne Vic. You went with lime green, right?
Used to be pink, and then it's supposed to be a sage green, but it's more of a minty.
Oh, it's definitely a mint green. Yeah, like I'm normally supportive of girls thinking that they know what they're talking about.
No, it's more mint green.
Yeah, that is sage. that is super not sage at all.
Yeah, it used to be pink.
And then why'd you switch to sage mint?
Because a bigger company copied my colors, and I didn't want to like be like everybody having that bike.
Yeah, we're not going to name any companies that supposedly are rumored of getting their color ideas from seeing bikes out on the scene, but that possibly
it got admitted to me eventually, but like
what, they fessed up to you?
Well, yeah.
No, you're lying.
Yeah.
To your face, you got a confession out of them.
Yeah.
Man.
Whatever.
BMX, one of the few societies where there hasn't been an original idea since 1988. Okay, so you switched it to mint based off of that?
Yeah, because I didn't want to like, because at the time, my pink bike was one of the very few pink bikes that there was. And then once the company started releasing a pink bike, the next company went and released the pink bike. You know, like it was just kind of a chain reaction. So after that, I was like, I don't want to be like everybody else.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than customizing a bike and then having some company put out that exact bike the next season, and then everyone asks you about your super awesome
it took me
custom bike.
forever to pick the like perfect pink.
They're like, yeah, they're riding up on it like, oh, is that a blah, blah, blah? And you're like, it's a Geronimo. I've had it for a year and a half, right?
Yeah, I'm like,
It's not easy being a leader, right?
It's not. I'm a trendsetter.
Do you see yourself having a ride someday? I mean, you've been around long enough. Where do you see your bike riding career? Even though I'm joking, like, what do you want to have your own rides, or do you want to?
I don't know. I'm very comfortable where I'm at right now. Like, just like I like being part of 41 Thursday and 4130. I have like a big responsibility with, like, you know, I help Cheech with the, like, you know, I help him with the raffle stuff. I help him sell his shirts. You know, I try putting us out there. You know, so I'm comfortable where I'm at right now. I don't really plan on like doing my own ride. That's too much responsibility.
Okay, you're not gonna be the next Cheech. Are you going to be the next Omar? Are you going to be your dad?
No, definitely not.
Gather around! The lottery numbers are...
Like, if I were to ever have my own ride, I wouldn't lead it. My dad would.
Oh, you would.
But it would be like my ride, you know? Like, people would be there. Like a birthday ride, you know? Like, people would be there for me, but I wouldn't be leading it.
Okay, so you would do a special occasion ride, but you don't want to be a ride leader.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be a ride.
Do you want to design bikes, or do you have dreams in another part of the world, or what do you want to do? You don't know yet?
I don't know yet.
All right. That's a good time. Yeah.
I'm like, that's a deep question.
Yeah. It's a good thing you have a bike. Because,
I don't know. I'm like, I got a sponsorship from bike riding.
That's true.
And I'm the only girl on the Geronimo street team.
How many members of the Geronimo street team are there?
I want to say there's like 10 of us.
Oh, get out. I didn't realize.
Tomorrow is Vic's ride, and we're all going to be together for like the first time ever.
Oh, you're going to have to take that pic, right?
Yeah, so, but I am the only girl on the street team.
Okay, and how do you feel about being one of only like, how many girls are in riding? Tell the people who might be watching.
Oh my God, there is more now, you know, like ever since COVID hit and stuff, there's way more. So like on an average ride, you'll see at least, 10 girls?
Okay.
I'm like, that's not a lot, but compared to like back in the days.
Would you recommend this to other girls on behalf of me and all the other single guys out here, that more girls might enjoy riding with us?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
No, it's just because sometimes girls are weird. And like girls, they don't come into like a scene and like they come in and they expect everyone to like be friendly, and not everyone on this bike scene is friendly. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like,
yeah.
I would suggest it if you're coming with someone, but don't come by yourself.
They need to get used to you,
like,
right?
Yeah.
People need to get used to you around here.
And like just like, you know, like come with someone, and then you could just come by yourself, whatever, you know, like.
Well, I think like 5 girls at Fixie Ride together could come ride, but
yeah, of course.
Have come in your pack.
Like me, I hardly go to any rides without my dad.
That's true.
Hardly. It's so rare for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna go to a ride without my dad.
That's true. You never ride without him, really, right?
Hardly ever.
Poignant moment. Do you have anything you want to say to the world of BMX? I mean, how do you feel? You want me to ask you all the swerving questions and stuff? You're too close to being friends with all the swervers. You can't talk shit like everyone else.
Them. I'm like, but I still can't talk shit about them.
Okay, then let it go.
No, I don't know what to say.
Are you pro swerving or anti swerving, or?
If you're being safe about it, then I love seeing it. You know, like.
Okay.
If you're not being safe about it and you're putting yourself in danger, then that's very scary to me, because I've seen a couple of my friends almost get hit by cars for swerving.
Okay.
And I tell them, like, you need to be careful. And they're, oh, it's no big deal. But at the end of the day, it really is a big deal, you know. They're not wearing helmets. They don't have lights, you know. Like, at the end of the day, you're not stronger than the car that's going to hit you. So,
Yeah.
you know, I just think they should be careful. I love seeing it. You know, I support all my friends who do their wheelies and stuff, you know. But I just think that they need to be more careful about it.
Yeah, there is a fate worse than death, like permanently hurt. Permanent.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was good. And then how do you feel since you're part of the younger crowd but you ride with the older crowd? I think everyone gets along, and all the older guys have been saying, for the very young people, we'll buy you water if you don't have money, and There's nothing against swerving as long as you're on the rides where everybody's a swerver. Where do you fit into that? I don't mean, do you do those? Like, do you agree with the breakup and stuff, or do you think there's different rides for everything?
With the stealing, I get it. Like this ride, you can't come and say like, oh, like don't come and swerve here, because this ride is kind of like a ride for everybody. Like everybody's gonna be here tonight. There's gonna be little kids here. There's gonna be families here. There's gonna be kids who are swerving and stuff. So tonight you kind of just know that Hollywood we take over. Like my dad's gonna do his announcements and stuff, but there's always those couple people who don't listen.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say before we head out? Shout out to Vic for sponsoring the first woman rider of the riders. No. Shout out to Omar for bringing Mitzli in the world. Shout out to Uncle Eric because he dragged you guys all into this.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you guys were like my second episode.
We were. Where were we at? Like in
7-Eleven parking lot. I had you interview Eric.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do.
And I got your whole family. We were in like 5 different locations. That's when it used to only be like 3 minutes an episode and stuff.
And now the safety crew one was so long.
There's 20 of them. You need to take that into account. There were 20 of them. Or something like 14.
Yeah, there was a lot of them.
All right, Mitzli. Thank you for being on the Race BMX show finally. And now, I've got the first sponsored woman who grew up in the rides to be. Are you my first? No, you were my second guest.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I sponsored you first. Forget Vic, whatever Victor. All right, Race BMX show. Talk to you later.
Was it good?